Our story begins with our hero, Kim, a rich, handsome young man living a life of luxury, and through his supernatural ability, he could see anyone's death by looking into their eyes or seeing a picture of them, and he exploited this to know how the rich would die, taking money in return, and everyone tried to change their death, but no one could escape their fate, and because of this, he was a very despairing person who knew the way. Each one would die, and that it would never change no matter how hard they tried, so he lived his whole life running away from people, to avoid looking at their faces and seeing the difficult ways they would die, becoming a lonely, sad, and depressed young man living in a huge house with his blind grandfather, Beck, and his lawyer, whom we will call Google, because whatever problem she ran into, she knew the solution. We learn that his grandfather actually had this ability before he had an accident while with his lover, where she died and he went blind, and Kim did not know how he would die because his eyes were actually damaged. Our hero was obviously sick of his life, unable to live or go out, having no friends, no wife, and no children, and he was afraid to get married and live in torment. Instead of looking into their eyes and laughing, he saw them dying and getting sad. It is true, my friend, no one takes everything from this world. Did you take anything, dear viewer? Surely not. So take yourself down, hit like, share, and ring the bell, then let us continue our story. We see our friend continuing his life, normally and doing his work, seeing the way a criminal's mother would die. When he found it difficult, he refused to tell her, but she begged him, saying that her first son died 5 years ago, and she had no one left but this one, and she regretted what happened to the first one. So that was why she let him become a criminal. She and her son had not spoken since her other son's death, and she was afraid for him and wanted to protect him, so he was forced to tell her that her son was a butcher. No, not of livestock, dear viewer, you misunderstand. A butcher of humans whom no one could beat. He would attack anyone and finish them off. A day would come when her son would kidnap him, and a gang would attack them with weapons. And he told her, I will get shot by mistake, but thank God I will be prepared and wear a bulletproof vest, so nothing will happen to me. So she told him, you are arrogant, go to. Hell, I came to ask you about my son, what do I care about you? So he said, oh sorry, I forgot, I thought you were checking on me. Your son, ma'am, just as I told you, would catch the whole gang and finish them off without mercy, leaving not a single one. In the end, and after that, he would die of a normal heart attack, for that was his time. The lady was surprised and asked him where her son would kidnap him, and where he would be to try to save him. So he told her, I know fate, but I do not know how to change it. So she tried to change fate and went to her son, telling him to stay away from the path of evil, that it was enough, and she did not want to lose both, and that our hero told her about his death. So he told her he does not know who that is anyway, and that her son was a butcher whose end would never be a normal death. I must die skinned, stabbed, hung, or anything fitting my status. Forget about this guy. You look like you got old and senile anyway. You come after 5 years of not seeing your face to act like you are afraid for me? Believe me, you are a pathetic kid. True, this is your mother, boy. Her approval is more important than your father and mother. He left her and walked away, and of course when she tried to prevent fate, she fulfilled it because she introduced her son to Kim, who actually kidnapped him, threatened him, and said, you say about me that I will die normally? Here, I am the one who will finish you. So he told him, you will not catch the gang. They will attack now with all the weapons, and all you have is a knife, so deal with it. Indeed, they entered, and our hero took his bullet and rested while the butcher started filleting and skinning. When our hero woke up, he found he had finished everyone and was holding the last one to finish him. So he tried to advise him, saying, don't. If you finish this one, you will die before you get to me. So he said, did you do this on purpose? I finished 11 people without a scratch. In the end, I will die if I kill this insect. So he said, well, as you wish. Remember, I told you not to. He finished him and stood up to brag about his strength, but fell dead. Oh, poor you. By God, poor you. You did not understand anything. And things went as planned and as fate drew. The police came, and our hero went to the hospital, and the news spread about what happened with Kim being the only survivor. When the police went to investigate him, they saw Google and Beck smuggling him out while he was unconscious. The patient told them that the excessive blood on the bed was not his, which was why he did not enter surgery and was not injured because he was wearing a bulletproof vest. So they ran after them because they suspected them, and the detective caught them at the entrance of the garage. She and the officer, Google, said she thought they were a gang, which was why she ran. So the detective suspected her. Our hero woke up, and she went to see him and said, how were you unconscious and woke up suddenly? So he said, it just happened. You can speak with Google and set a time for investigation. For the first time, dear viewer, our hero could not see death in someone's eyes. He thought he lost his ability after the shot, but he could see the others normally and did not understand what happened. He kept looking at her and was dazzled by her beauty, and he had a right, for this was our heroine, Song, the smartest and most skilled detective in the city. She entered the police academy out of love for her father and to understand the truth and the reason for her father's death due to his work. She did not understand what happened to him at the time because she was a child, only 9 years old, and lived in a shelter for a while and saw a very hard life until she reached her position. Due to her intelligence, she did not believe Kim, and basically, weapons were not common in the country, so what made him prepared and wearing a bulletproof vest? And his family also knew he was alive and came to take him, unconscious, and she searched behind him to know his truth. The butcher's mother came to identify her son's body, and our heroine told her, "We want you to agree to the autopsy request to determine the cause of death, as this is likely a murder." So she told her, "No, I do not want him autopsied." So she asked her, "How do you mean? Your son, who died 5 years ago, stabbed 23 times. You asked for him to be autopsied. And now, the one who is dead without a scratch, you tell me you will not autopsy him." So she told her, "That is exactly why, and because I know he died of a heart attack. Kim told me what would happen, and it actually happened." So she asked her, "Who is this Kim?" So she told her, "The sole survivor, the most famous of the rich, who gives them hope in life to change their deaths. But what he says always happens, and he can see every human's death before they die." Song was surprised by her words and asked Dr. Joe to speed up the autopsy. So he told her, "You have 4 weeks." But she begged him to hurry, and she decided to verify the woman's words herself and go test him in a clever way, taking her mother's picture with her. She introduced herself to him while he had been thinking about her all night anyway and could not forget her. She interrogated him and told him what the butcher's mother said, but of course, he denied this and told her, "These are myths, and it is impossible for someone to see someone's death. What happened is that the butcher kidnapped me normally, and when the gang entered, I took a shot that hit a bulletproof vest, and I did not feel anything until I woke up." When she asked him, "Well, what made you wear the vest at a time like this when weapons are not common in street gangs or even in the country?" He told her that he was wearing it right now and wore it always, starting to play dumb with them and showing that he was an unbalanced person. He kept jumping around explaining what happened, saying he saw people die in movies from bullets, so he got scared and decided to wear it always. Our girl did not believe him and felt the woman's words were true, so she decided to leave her mother's photo with him. He knew she died the day she gave birth to her. Understanding that our heroine went through many difficult things, Kim went to give his testimony at the station, said the same words, and left. He met the officer there and saw something strange in their deaths. He met our heroine and gave her the photo, but did not tell her what he saw, and said, "I hope I never see your face again." That's it. Afterwards, we saw the journalists holding a meeting to know who the survivor was and find a suitable headline for the case, and how 13 people died while he was the only one who came out alive, and they did not understand why the police were not announcing his identity. The dirty journalist spoke to a trainee journalist with him named Jean, who was a fresh graduate trying to prove herself and training at the police station. He asked her to steal information or act in any way as long as she found out who the perpetrator was, but she did not know and got caught. She told him that the one handling the case was Song, so he tried to remember her name and realized she was the daughter of the detective he had made a scoop about before publishing his picture while falling from the 10th floor because he was chasing a serial killer named Bill. He fell back then, broke into pieces, and he wrote all this and photographed him, not caring about his daughter's feelings at the time, as all he cared about was the news. We learned then how much of a dirty journalist and trend chaser he was, doing anything just to reach important information, not thinking about people's feelings, or that he might hurt someone because of these words or pictures. The most important thing was for the magazine to sell. We learned that Song's father died 20 years ago, and when he did not find anything exciting in the case of the 13 dead, the journalist decided to make a new headline and open the old case, saying that Song became an officer and returned to get justice for her father and the 7 girls Bill killed by burying them alive, and instead of staying imprisoned, he should get the death penalty. He said, "This is the main story, and this is what will trend." Our hero decided to clear his head a bit and went to drink coffee, sitting to understand how it was calculated while avoiding looking into anyone's eyes. However, a beautiful girl came buying a birthday cake for her mother. She stood in front of him photographing the cat, and when he saw her eyes, he was terrified by what he saw. We learned that she was Lee, the daughter of the dirty journalist who forgot his wife's birthday. Strangely, she spoke to him to check in and did not nag him at all. All she asked was for him to talk to his daughter, but he did not do so. We learned that our hero saw the girl dying, buried in a coffin while alive with a phone next to her, and by the time they reached her, she had died. He knew she would be kidnapped now, and when he looked in front of him, he did not find her. She arrived in front of the house and sent a message to her mother that she arrived, but suddenly someone came and kidnapped her. When our hero arrived, he found her phone and the cake thrown on the ground. Her mother called to see why she had not entered the house, so he answered and informed her that he found the phone and the cake fallen and that they belonged to her daughter. She suspected he kidnapped her because he knew the cake was hers. So he told her, "You misunderstand, really. I was in the shop normally and saw her. While going home, he found the cake and saw her picture on the phone, so he recognized her and went with her to the nearest station to report it. She apologized for doubting him, and the report reached the main headquarters. Our heroine went to investigate the case, and Jean saw them and informed the journalist that there was a kidnapping case. He thought about how to link the subject to Bill's old cases, not knowing that the kidnapped girl was his daughter. His wife kept calling him, but he did not answer. The detective saw the cameras in the cafe and was surprised by Kim's look at her and that he was startled and ran after her. They went to the crime scene and guessed the type of car she was kidnapped in and searched for it, knowing the criminal had been watching her for a while and knew this place had no cameras. When she asked Kim if he saw her death, he denied it. She told him, "Why are you not wearing a bulletproof vest? You are a liar, a good one, but not smart. The girl is in danger and we must save her. If you actually saw her death, tell me." So he told her that she would not be able to change fate. She told him, "Only you are despairing, but I will try and save her." So he informed her that she was buried alive now and would die. In a little while, she will be there and will try to save her, but she will not be able to. If she tried to change what was fated, she would fulfill it. So she asked him, "Do you understand what you are saying?" So he told her, "You will see for yourself. It's just 3 hours, and when it hits, she will die." So she asked him, "How did you know the time and date?" So he told her, from the phone that was next to her. Our heroine went to inform her colleagues and asked them to search the abandoned factories as quickly as possible, as the girl would die. In the same way as Bill's victims 20 years ago. They told her they had no reason or evidence for what she was saying, so she told them there was a phone next to her, and she would surely call. Indeed, she did that and called emergency services, saying a man called her and this was his phone, and she tried to seek his help, but he thought she was joking with him and hung up. The police could not trace the line because they did not know the number. Our heroine listened to the call, went to emergency services, tried to calm her down, and asked them to bring her mother to talk to her. Jean heard what happened and informed the journalist that the police suspected it was related to an old case of someone named Bill, because the child spoke and said she was in a coffin and Song was responsible for the case. He rejoiced greatly because he found the news not knowing the victim was his daughter, and his wife was messaging him to tell him, but he was not answering. Serves you right, so next time your wife calls you, answer immediately and do not say, "Stop nagging." He announced the main news. Detective Song, daughter of the former detective in the Bill case, is investigating the kidnapping of a girl in the same manner as the criminal, telling them to publish the news, and the victim's name was not important right now. He asked Jean to keep her eyes open and report anything she found out to them. When his wife went to the station, Jean tried to photograph her but could not. Our heroine informed her of what happened and asked her to pull herself together and reassure her daughter. When she heard her voice, she broke down, and her daughter apologized because she did not know how to attend her birthday. Her mother talked to her and stayed with her to calm her down. After that, we saw General Hung, who was a colleague of Song's father and was with him when he died, asking a group to search for the car and the rest to search the existing abandoned factories. Our heroine went to Kim, who was sitting with his grandfather, scolding him for revealing his secret to her, as he could not believe there was someone whose death he could not see. His grandfather did not tell him the reason why he did not see her death and hid it from him, saying, "You two are involved in a problem together, and it is better to stay away from her." When Song came, she begged him to help her, saying she had hope and would be able to save her, but he should focus and tell her any valuable information or distinctive feature of the place. He looked at the girl's photo and saw her death again. He focused and heard the sound of a train and saw the numbers of the hangars in the factory. They brought the map, saw the factory closest to this train, and moved there. When she came to inform the rest of the team, she found they had reached the car owner and knew it was stolen from him, and his phone was also stolen, and that the child was the one who answered it. They got the phone number from him and pinpointed her location in the same factory, and all forces went there. The mother tried to calm her down until the forces arrived, assuring her that they knew her location, but the girl fainted. Her mother got scared and ran to the place. Hung called the journalist, whom he could not stand, and informed him the victim this time was his daughter. He was shocked and listened to all the messages sent by his wife, running like a madman in the street, imagining he was the cause of her death if anything happened to her because he ignored her mother's words. We went after that to our hero and saw them arriving and searching for him everywhere. The criminal had made a diversion with several holes and several burial sites in the place. When Kim focused well on the hangar numbers and directions, he knew exactly where she was buried. They pulled her out while she was unconscious, and our heroine tried to save her. The ambulance came, and the doctor said there was no breath. They thought she had already died, but then she said there was a pulse and she was alive. They saved her and she went to the hospital. Kim did not believe that fate had changed, and they were actually able to save her. He stood shocked, and Song came to him saying her words were the ones that came true, and they were able to save her. So he said, "To her, that is impossible. I tried many times and could not." She joked with him, saying, "You see death and I can change fate." They laughed, and finally, our hero was happy, and his eyes shone with love, my friend. May God write it for you, O Lord. We found. Dr. Joe finished the butcher's autopsy and told his assistant that that he died of a heart attack. She told him, it seems he turned out to be truly talented, and he watched. The moment of his death was surprised and asked her who he was. She told him about our hero and that he saved the journalist's daughter and was going now to see the evidence and inform our heroine of the autopsy result. He became very tense and it seemed something was wrong with him. After that, Hung went to the journalist and asked him if he suspected anyone. He told him no and thanked him for saving his daughter, knowing from the 7 victims in the Bill case that it was hard for there to be a survivor. He told him, I do not need to remind you how the 7th victim died after we saved her, which is why I assigned a guard to your daughter's room. He remembered then when the police saved her, and afterwards she entered the hospital and the criminal knew the way to the victim through the picture he took and published of her. He became very scared, ran to remove his daughter's room number, and made his wife sit with her all day. Our heroes walked together talking about what happened. She told him, this is the same method as Bill's killing. So he asked her, who is that? She said, is it possible you don't know him? He told her, I don't know anything. Don't watch the news, don't listen to the TV, don't go out, and don't do anything at all. She told him, the situation seems difficult, and the idea that you have a supernatural power is also difficult. She sat chatting a bit while he was not hearing anything at all. His eyes were popping hearts as he looked at her, not believing that he was finally able to see someone without fear. She walked him home and informed him that they were able to save a victim and solve the case, and she offered that they solve the similar case and be together. He told her, I will think. After that, the journalist went to our heroine. He thanked her and asked her to forgive him because he used to chase her and photograph her all the time, and this caused her many problems and made her live in a shelter to escape him. Later, he followed her to the shelter too, photographed her father dying, and did not think at all about her feelings. She told him, not now. We are in an investigation. Do you suspect anyone? He said, yes, the father of the 7th victim, because the only article where his daughter's picture and room appeared was the one I photographed and wrote, so her father surely wants revenge. She told him, stop being dirty for a bit. At that time, 1,000 articles were written, and the father whose daughter died was surely too busy to read what was written. However, she investigated the matter herself. He told her he had proof because his daughter was kidnapped in the same way on her mother's birthday, so he waited until she reached the same age and the day of her mother's birthday to kidnap her. Song suspected he might actually be the killer, but when she investigated, she learned that he had been hospitalized for a while and died, so he was not the cause. We saw Google locking our hero in his room, telling him these were his grandfather's orders, so he acted. For her saying he wanted to go to the bathroom, girl, I'm dying, I can't hold it. She opened the door and he asked his grandfather, why are you doing this to me? So he said, to protect you. I am sure the detective made you an offer. He said yes, and that he would agree because he saw a person's death change and wanted to know the reason. Maybe he could change fates himself. His grandfather told him he could not do that always, and if he believed her and worked with her, it would be the last conversation between them. So he told him, stop sulking, Grandpa. What is this childish behavior? I fell for her and want to see her all the time. I cannot live without her or give up easily. I lived my whole life running from my family, my father, mother, siblings, and friends, afraid to break anyone I loved. I came to you and lived with you to the point that I became afraid you would become the dearest person to me. I will go to her because I want to understand. Our hero sat reading about Song's life, seeing how her parents died, and he felt bad about the article written about her father's death. He read about the Bill case, saw the way the 7th victim died, and saw the criminal's face, but we did not know who he was, nor had anyone seen him before. He predicted the journalist's daughter was in danger and that her fate could change and she would die in the same way. He ran quickly to the station, saw her picture, and knew her fate had indeed changed and she would die in the hospital. Then we saw the killer, who turned out to be Dr. Joe himself, challenging our hero and saying, this time you will not be able to save her. I will kill her, meaning I will kill her. We found the doctor actually with the detective in the hospital drinking coffee and talking about the cases. He asked her about Kim, so she told him that he could see death and told her what would happen, which happened exactly. It appeared he knew our hero well. He bargained with her to finish the autopsy he had in exchange for her telling him everything that happened. She told him everything and then received a call that the girl's time of death changed to right now. But when they called, they found she was fine, so they tightened the guard on her for the time she was supposed to die. Our hero was at the station and she could not believe it. The general told them, this is not the work of pros, this is the work of amateurs. How do you expect me to believe someone who says he sees the future? How will I die then? The officer told him he had proved this several times, so he said, he must be the criminal since he knows all these details. I don't want to burst your bubble. So he told him, okay, let us test him. Again in front of you, General, we are at your service. He said, good idea. Bring me the cases you have and how they died. Give him the people's pictures and let him show us his skills. Our heroine came and tried to stop this, saying she was sure he was not a liar and was an honest person. The general said, even so, I must test him myself. It appeared he was afraid of something and looked like he had caused a disaster. Then scene, Song entered and told him, "Sorry, but if it's not too rude, we will burden you a bit. We want you to tell us how these people died. I trust you, really, and would never test you, but you must prove it to them so we can be done." Our hero held the picture and told her how each one died, and everyone present was terrified. Kim told her, "Your turn now. You really trust me," meaning you do not want to test me? Then why did you leave your mother's picture with me? She told him, "I am sorry. I didn't mean to. My mother's death was actually easy, which is why I gave it to you so you wouldn't get hurt seeing a method like those hideous ones you saw." "But how did you know she was my mother?" He told her, "She is the one who named you Song and died immediately after, entrusting your father with me." Hung was listening as he was present at that time, and he actually believed him. Everyone was moved. Kim told her, "I know how your father died too, and this is very hard. We saved the girl and her time of death changed, so we must cooperate to save her and the rest. Also, find me a sketch artist so I can draw the criminal's face for you. I know him." She agreed. Song went to the general and told him, "I will appoint a consultant for the cases." He said no, believing she was the reason the girl was saved, not him, and that this would hinder the investigation. She went to Kim and told him the general did not agree. He told her, "Don't worry, I will help you anyway." She asked, "How?" He told her that he knew. The criminal from when he visited the shelter before with his grandfather. He saw his picture killing the girl, and the killer challenged him that he would kill her and Kim wouldn't be able to save her. As if he knew I would look at her picture, and he always comes to me in my dreams. "Which shelter?" He said, "The Hope Shelter, and I know this person." "Well, I knew he would kill himself 20 years ago, and I would be present while the police surrounded him." He asked Google to find someone who could sketch the criminal's picture from his description. She asked, "Am I going to do the police's job too?" He told her, refused, and besides, they say ask Google. At that time, his grandfather came and said, "So you told the police everything and they tested you too? Oh, what a disappointment, and you want to do police work?" He said, "Grandpa, understand me. The one who killed the girl is the person I saw in the shelter 20 years ago. I feel he is the criminal, and I was going to meet him anyway, as he would kill himself while I was present anyway." It appeared that the grandfather was terrified and afraid of this specific person's appearance, so he went to the shelter and learned that the child, whom Kim talked about at the shelter, had died. So how could he appear now? He told the officer he knew that this child was the one who died, so he told him a friend of his came and identified him. He suspected the matter and that the child might be alive and forged his friend's identity. This was indeed what we would learn happened, my dear. I will not keep teasing you like this every little while. There is a lot of suspense coming, so you will be spoiled, but let's continue. At that time, he remembered the anonymous call he received 3 years ago telling him that Bill was not the killer and informing him of the real killer's location, but he decided not to focus on it. When his conscience woke up and he went a month later, he found nothing, so he put it back to sleep normally and continued. He tried to link the events together and guessed the call was from the shelter child, who was Bill's son. Our hero sat drawing the criminal's picture, and Google told him, "This is the first time I see such a handsome criminal." Then the criminal, Joe, called him and said, "It seems you have been drawing me for a while." Our hero was startled and asked him, "Where are you? And what do you want from me? And why are you doing this anyway?" So he told him, "Just calm down. Don't get so angry or you'll pop a vein." So Kim told him, "What do you want? What do you want?" He said, "I want you to see the truth with your own eyes, and you will see it very soon. Don't worry." Joe was proceeding with his plan and went to the hospital but he learned that security was tight at that time, so he decided to change the time. The motives for revenge increased inside him when the dirty journalist decided to link his father's name to this case as well, saying the killer was Bill or someone associated with him. He targeted him because he got out of prison and went to the hospital on the same day. We learned that Bill actually had cancer and everyone was demanding his execution. Joe went to the hospital hacked the journalist's phone and sent a message to his wife to leave the room and come down to him with the Visa card. She got very worried and called him, but as usual, all he cared about was his work and the dirty news that hurt him and his family, so he did not answer. His wife went down, emphasizing to the guard to focus, but Joe used his brain, tripped the cleaner, and the guard ran to help her. He entered and killed her. At that time, a signal came to our hero that the evidence found at the girl's kidnapping site belonged to Bill. Our heroine did not believe it and ran to the prison to meet him. As soon as Kim saw him, he knew he was not the killer because he saw the one who killed the 7th victim. Our heroine sat, interrogating him, asking, "Why did you kill the girl and 7 before her?" He told her, "I didn't kill anyone." She pressured him and said, "You killed my father." He told her, "He was chasing me to imprison me unjustly, so I pushed him and he fell. I didn't mean to kill him and I apologized then." She said, "So you are the killer and killed so-and-so," and was about to say their names when he got angry at her, recited all the victims' names and coughed blood from exhaustion. They took him quickly to the hospital. She returned and Kim told her he was not the killer. "Come, let me look at the victims and verify." When he saw the criminal's face both times, they were 2 different people, not this one. He took the journalist's daughter's picture and found her time of death had switched to. They looked and found it was already past. When they called the hospital, hospital, the guard entered and found her dead. They informed them and they ran to the hospital. On the way, Kim described his characteristics, saying he was tall, dark, foolish, clumsy, had a flat foot, had a cut on his hand, and wore a coat. She told him, well, all doctors wear coats. He said, okay, he wears sneakers. She said, oh, if that's the case, okay. They locked down the hospital, declared a state of emergency, and everyone started searching for him. Our hero showed her the picture he drew, and she was shocked, saying, that is the autopsy doctor at the hospital. She took the picture and distributed it to the officers. We saw Joe going to look at the journalist while he was grieving for his daughter because of what he said about his father and mother. He received a call from our heroine asking, where are you? He told her he was at the hospital. She told him, stay where you are, do not move. I am coming to you, stay put. When she went up, she asked him, what do you think of this surprise? He found Kim in his face and was very terrified, remembering the terrible memories. We went back to the past and saw Joe's difficult life living with his mother and his father, Bill, whom everyone called a killer. He was framed for a crime unjustly and forced to reenact the crime against his will because all evidence was against him. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. The dirty journalist exploited this, photographing him and his mother, calling him the son of the criminal. This made everyone hate him and avoid him. People chased them and wanted to kick them out of the town, so his mother decided to leave him and depart so he could live in peace. He went to the shelter, being a poor, peaceful child minding his own business with no friends until he found the dirty journalist photographing a girl. He took the camera from him, broke it, and told him, leave people alone. He told him, do you know who that girl I was photographing is? That is Song, the daughter of the officer your father killed. Don't act kind with me, you son of a criminal. He felt like an outcast and was very sad for his father, but Song came, thanked him, and introduced herself. He refused to tell her his name so she wouldn't distance herself from him, and they became friends until Kim came and the children told him, we know your ability, tell us how Joe will die. He told him, the police will be surrounding you and you will kill yourself. The children mocked him, telling them that is natural. The officer's son is an officer and the killer's son is a killer. Joe was very affected by his words because he was a kind person back then, but now he is a psycho returning for revenge with no mercy in his heart. The most important thing was to get justice for his father. He killed an innocent girl normally just to see her father heartbroken over her, and exploited his job as a forensic doctor to hide all evidence and forge freely. We returned to the present, and he saw. Kim saw Joe in his dream while he was saying he would never find Song, and if he lost someone he wanted to grieve over, he would feel what he felt. So he grabbed him and told him, what do you want from me? Leave me alone, man. But Joe was a cold person and did not answer. Song told him to calm down, arrested Joe, and conducted a DNA test on him. The general came and asked him, are you sure the one in the picture is the killer? He told him, what? You want to test me again or what? So he told him, no, but all I know about him is that he is a doctor and keeps to himself. He informed him that the girl tried to see his face while resisting, so she knew who he was. And you will find a sample of his skin under the victim's fingernails. Check if it is him or not, check the cameras, and look for evidence. I will not tell you the killer and tell you how to pin it on him. I am not a magician. Kim went to ask Google to do this government work, gather information about Joe, and see if anyone knew him, and try to find evidence, because if that did not happen, in 6 hours he would be released. Afterwards, he found his grandfather waiting for him, so he asked him, did you know everything and hide it from me? Did you know the reason why I cannot see Song's death and hid it from? He told him, I was afraid to break your heart. I was afraid to tell you that you are the reason she would die. My heart ached for you when I found you, attached to her. So he asked him, how did you know? He told him, a long time ago, the same situation happened to me, and I loved the only girl whose death I could not see. In her eyes. The day we got married was the happiest day, and because I could not believe myself, I kept looking at her until a car came and hit us. She died, and I went blind. So he told him, but I saw her colleagues, all dying in a horrific explosion. I don't know what will happen, but she will not be there. So he told him, well, genius, you haven't achieved anything. If you manage to save them all, you won't be able to help her. So he told him, but my situation is different from yours. I know who is the cause of her death, and I will stop him. So he told him, be aware that if you try, you might become the victim. He told him, I am not afraid of death. The most important thing is for my beloved to live. I will start nicely and try to convince Joe to stop killing politely. I felt he was a good person and kills. Against his desire, he was crying while killing a girl. Imagine how kind he is. So he told him, are you stupid, boy? You are stupid, right? Do you know who Joe actually is? He asked. Who? He told him, he is Bill's son, whom they accused of killing children. He said, oh man, wasn't his name Joe back then? He said, no, he forged his name. When you told him he would kill himself, I kept sending him messages and money, supporting him, so he wouldn't turn out a criminal, but after a while, the shelter burned down and his news was cut off. The interrogation with Joe began, and when they went to his house, they found nothing, and even the hospital cameras did not show his face. They asked the general if he knew Bill's son, who was with him at the shelter. He told him, is the moon hidden? He is more famous than fire on a flag. Who doesn't know him? He asked him, what is his news? He said, I heard, may God have mercy on him. Mention your dead with goodness, he was an annoying kid. So he told him, General, enough. Are you going to tell me his life story? Let's stick to the important part. Why did you kill the girl? He said, I didn't do that. You are the ones following myths. Can you tell me where your evidence is? He could not pin anything on him. Afterwards, our heroine went to look at pictures of Bill's son when he was young. As she learned, they suspected he was the same person. She found a picture of the child who did not say his name when he was young and realized she was friends with the boy whose father killed her father. She went to the station and entered to interrogate him, asking him, what is your relationship with Bill's son? Friends, for instance. Originally, the dirty journalist, or the girl who died, used to make Bill's son's life miserable. If you were buddies, then you are the one who killed his daughter, and this is obviously to avenge your friend. He told her, am I stupid to send myself to hell for my friend? Let him and his friend go to hell. So she told him, your friend killed himself, don't you know, or what? He became tense, and it appeared he did something to his friend. He asked for a break and went out to get some air. The general entered afterwards, took his cup with his fingerprints on it, and the doubt inside him kept increasing. He went to steal something from Bill's belongings in prison to confirm it was his father. A message came to the detective from forensics stating that the DNA under the girl's finger belonged to Bill. This was impossible because at that time she was with Bill at the police station. So how could this happen? She understood that evidence was always fabricated against Bill, and he was not the cause. She went to the general and asked him, is Bill the killer? He told her, yes, he is the one who killed your father. She told him, let's change the question. Is he the one who killed the girls? He told her, you are not easy, are you? Yes, he is the one who killed them, and all evidence is against him. So she asked him, well, was his DNA present at the crime scene? He told her, yes. So she told him, well, how then? It is present in this case too, while I was actually with him at the time. He stepped back, took a breath, and it appeared he caused a disaster and was not telling her the truth. Our hero went to Joe to convince him and said, tell me now, what do you want? He said, if I tell you, will you agree? He said, say it. But he said, aren't you doing all this for Song? I want her. He said, no, man, that easily? How do you mean you want her? Do you see me with horns in front of you? You know if you get close to her, I will kill you. He said, nice, so you are changing fates. I don't understand. Will I kill myself or will you kill me? The matter is confusing, honestly. He told him, it doesn't matter. You will die in the end. Our hero feared for Song, and it showed how much he loved her. He called to check on her, so she asked him, where are you? He told her, at home. She told him, I am at work and will go home late. So he went out to watch her and kept waiting until she finished. He fell asleep, so she came to wake him up, and they went to have breakfast together. She did not act all shy and girly. She slurped the noodles, my dear, and took his plate. He loved her more because she was natural. He told her, on this happy occasion, don't you want to know how you will die? She told him, no, forget about this topic. I don't fear death anyway. Whatever God has written will happen. So he told her, do you know that you are the only person whose death I cannot see? It is very, very far away. We saw the journalist, the dirty journalist, continuing his work while his wife was breaking down and unable to live. His assistant called him and told him the DNA test came back and said, it is impossible. He was in prison with Song. So his wife snatched the phone and heard the assistant saying, I am sure he is the killer because he went out to the hospital that day. She grabbed her husband finally and realized he did not deserve to be a father, saying, if you had answered me that day or the first day, none of this would have happened. Go to hell. May God take revenge on you. As for me, I will avenge my daughter and we will not hold her funeral until I avenge her. We saw Joe talking to Kim saying, surely the police do not know the two are one, and surely the one who died is Joe, not Bill's son, and he took his name. He went to inform Song and took food for them, but did not find her there. We found her with the general after she caught him looking at the paternity test result. She told him, I noticed you took the cup the day you entered, but why? Are you doing this? What are you hiding from me? He told her the truth, that Joe was Bill's son and likely killed his friend and stole his name, and he was the reason for all this happening because 20 years ago, the DNA test proved that Bill was not the killer, but all other evidence was against him, and he was her father's killer at the time, so he wanted revenge, and to pin all charges on him. So he decided to redo the analysis, change the sample, and frame him. When he received a call from Joe 3 years ago telling him about the real killer, he tried to silence his conscience again, and this let the real criminal Young escape, and he was the reason for everything that happened. Afterwards, our hero went to Song, who went to the hospital to check on Bill after all the injustice he saw and that he did not deserve all this. He came to tell her what he knew, but found she already knew, and she was the one telling him. He found the girl's mother killing Bill because she thought he killed her daughter. Unfortunately, no one saved him, and he died unjustly. People rejoiced, thinking justice prevailed, and the villain died, and that she was happy, and so on. But no, come here. We are just starting. Just saying, oh, guide. We found Bill's body arrived at the morgue, and his son was the one who would autopsy him. Song told him he was stabbed and bled to death. He asked her, will you autopsy him too, or do you want me to say he died of bleeding to clear the one who killed him? She told him, I am not like that, and I treat everyone. By one principle, follow your procedures comfortably, write the report, and everyone will get what they deserve. After she left, he sat crying a bit over his father and that he could not prove his innocence while he was alive. He autopsied the body, wrote the cause of death, and swapped it later with another body and burned his father's body. This was to hide his DNA, and he changed the blood on the knife he was killed with, making it the real criminal's blood. Of course, the report came in Bill's name. The general was surprised because the DNA they had was fake, so the match shouldn't happen anyway. He understood that Joe was proving to them his father was not the killer. Thus, they knew the criminal was actually still alive and all past charges were fabricated. We saw Kim buying cameras and a tracking device to monitor Joe. He found at that time the necklace he was holding in his hands at the time of his death, looked at it, cried, and took it with him. Afterwards, he went to Joe's house, put cameras everywhere, and put a tracking device in the car to monitor him. When he entered the house and installed everything and came to leave, he found Joe entering with the general after the general confessed the truth to his chief. And the chief told him, "I cannot face public opinion. Close the subject and don't let your conscience that slept for 20 years wake up now." So the general told the detective and her colleague that he would leave the job but would continue the investigation without them and fix what he did because they were not at fault. He told him, "We are with you, chief, and we will continue together and set a plan to catch Joe." When he entered the house, he knelt before him, started apologizing, and told him what happened, that he was the reason and his father was innocent. He told him, "Good that you realized after 20 years and are ready to go out and say this, but isn't it a bit strange coming to confess now?" He told him, "My conscience woke up, son." He said, "It woke up, huh?" He grabbed him, noticed the camera, and told him, "Coming to act regretful so I confess and you imprison me? Shame on you. Why? Do this. I might have believed you, but you don't deserve it." He mocked him and those with him, saying, "I didn't kill anyone, and show me how you will prove otherwise." Kim was sitting listening to everything happening and knew the truth. Song and everyone were hiding from him. We saw the dirty journalist sitting with the police, and they told him the truth that Bill was not the killer and the one he reached was wrong. So he knew he was the cause of his wife's imprisonment too. When he entered to see her, she told him, "Now we can hold our daughter's funeral." After the funeral, he told her the truth too. She was shocked and went to reenact the crime while she was, breaking down that she didn't even get justice for her daughter and would be imprisoned. Her husband told her he loved her and would not let anything bad happen to her. Afterwards, our hero went to search Joe's house and found a basement. When he entered, he found Young and told him, "I have been imprisoned here for 3 years." He asked him to hide because Joe put cameras everywhere and told him, "You won't be able to open the cage for me. You must go and come later and bring something to help you." But he should try not to be late before this idiot finished him off. While leaving Joe's place, he noticed. He found Song entering with him. He searched her and tore her shirt. She asked him, "What do you want? Are you a harasser or what?" He told her, "No, just checking there is no camera." She told him, "I told you I came to talk to you." He told her, "Your boss told me that and turned out to be recording too. I betray anyone these days." He asked her, "What do you want?" She told him, "I know you were with me at the shelter and had a kind heart. You weren't like this. Where did you take your friend?" And took his name. He told her, "I thought you would sympathize with me. You also see me as a criminal while I am the victim." She told him, "There is no justification for murder, and the girl you killed was innocent, and her family loves you." He told her, "That's why I killed her, so they would feel what I felt. And you say this is not a justification. I think when your father died, it was part of your plan. Do you see me as that much of a monster?" She told him, "Show me you are not like that. Stop what you're doing and turn yourself in." She went to wait for the bus, so our hero went after her and asked, "What are you doing here?" She told him, "I was on a mission." He took her and they went home. She asked him, "What do you want from me? And why did you bring me here anyway?" He told her, "I felt you haven't eaten since morning, so I thought I'd do a romantic gesture and cook for you myself." She told him, "Oh my love, I'm actually starving." He told her, "Stay here then and I will bring you clothes to change into. You can listen to music or look around the room as you like." He sent Google to her with a shirt. She went to fight with him and asked, "Are you watching me? How did you know my shirt was torn?" He told her, "No, I am monitoring Joe because I am afraid for you and want to protect you." She told him, "You are hindering me and crossing the line." He told her, "I am ready for any accountability, but the most important thing is that you are okay." She asked him to hand over all recordings and cameras and stay out of anything in the case. He told her, "Okay, by the way, Young is imprisoned in a basement at Joe's and he is torturing him." She went to the general, showed him the videos, told him his plan, and went to raid the house. She told him, "You have a bad smell," and neighbors complained. He told her, "I don't cook at home, I eat canned food, and I don't have neighbors anyway." She told him, "Whatever happened, I must search." She entered to search, and he opened the basement for her normally. When she went down, she found nothing. Afterwards, she left, and when the chief asked her, "Where is the footage from the day you entered and saw Young? Why did you delete it?" She told him, "I wasn't the one who entered, and I won't tell you who did, but I am sure. He is imprisoning him." He understood that Kim was the one who entered, and she didn't want him punished. finished. Song went to the grandfather, who asked her, "Did he tell you he didn't see how I would die?" She told him, "Yes, but he didn't say the reason." He told her, "He will be the reason, so I want you to live for him, because if you die, he will die after you. He cannot live without you." She remembered when he gave her a necklace he kept with him at the time of his death and told her, "Keep it with you always and never return it to me," and that he wanted to monitor her to be near her so she would never be lost from him. She decided to distance herself. We saw our hero working as a policeman on his own, going to the place where the tracking device was the day Young disappeared. He found the place was a house in the sea. When he entered, he found the device thrown away and no one there. Joe called him and said, "Did you think you were the only one watching people? I saw you the day you entered Young's place, moved him, misled you, and sent you to the end of the world. I will make you regret this move. Don't think you are the only smart one. I am always ahead of you." He started making him regret it and went to his grandfather to finish him off. The journalist was monitoring him after seeing him in a photo near his daughter and seeing him at the hospital. When he went and asked the doctor, he told him he was here the day your daughter died, was arrested, and was released because there was no evidence. So he decided to reveal his secret and went after him. Joe entered the grandfather's house, pretending to come to fix the electricity. When he entered, he sat wandering around the house. And when the grandfather suspected him, he told him, "I knew you were coming, but you will regret what you did. You are dead because of your grandson, for he is the reason, not anyone else." He took him to the bathtub, killed him, and wiped the evidence to make it look like the grandfather killed himself. At the same time, our hero was looking for Song, sitting depressed because she disappeared suddenly. He looked at the necklace's location and found it on an island. When he went, he took her in his arms and told her, "Stay with me, don't run away again." She told him she used to come to this place with her father long ago, and they had sweet memories. So she came every now and then so as not to feel lonely. He told her, "I was very worried about you," and finally told her he loved her. She told him, "Say it to me. In the same place when we catch Joe." She told him about the island they were standing on, saying, "It disappears when the tide comes in," he told her. "That is why I look for it all the time and can't find it." She asked what he meant. He told her, "Nothing," meaning he would die here, and that was why he would come to this place to look for her and remember his memories, hiding the truth from her. A call came from Google saying, "Yes, uncle, love is in the air. Prepare yourself. We will all dine together." He told her to check on his grandfather. She found he had died and sat screaming on the phone. When he went, he found his veins cut, and the matter looked like he killed himself, with no signs of struggle at all. Our hero did not believe it, and said, "I must see for myself." He asked Google for a photo, but for the first time, she could not act and told him that he was careful to hide the method of his death from him, burned photos, and left him a will. He was certain he was murdered, especially since he tried to kill himself in the same, way before when he was a child, and he saved him and he didn't die. Song went to forensics and learned the blood pattern was strange, and the matter looked like he was possibly drugged or unconscious. Song suspected and was surprised that the doctor in charge of the autopsy was Joe. She informed the general, and he appointed a doctor, who was an expert and friend of the grandfather, to supervise the autopsy so Joe could not hide the evidence. Indeed, he told them someone killed him and someone tried to drown him for moments and hid the evidence well, so it looked like someone professional. Suspicion increased more on Joe. Kim told him that the grandfather was the one who took care of him in the shelter, always sent him messages, food, and clothes, and looked after him. He regretted what he did, sat reading old messages, and cried because he practically killed his father again. Our hero took his grandfather's condolences, wearing a suit as. He asked him long ago and gave him a wallet with money, saying, "May God have mercy on you, Grandpa." He saw a photo of his grandfather's mirror, asked Google to find their location, and when he went to take his photo, he saw that Joe was the one who did this. He decided to take revenge on him too and avenge his grandfather. He understood his grandfather's will and why he told him, "You are not at fault for what happened, and this was my choice. The most important thing is to try to protect the one you love now." Because Joe told the grandfather while killing him that he was killing him in revenge for his grandson. We saw the journalist chasing Joe everywhere, asking Jean about him. She told him that he was imprisoned for a while, and the police went to search his house because they suspected he was holding the real criminal. He told her he would investigate this matter and would rely on her. Afterwards, he followed the grandfather's funeral procession. The assistant called him and told him that Joe was Bill's son. He understood he tried to take revenge on him for what he did. He found Joe behind him saying, "Won't you stop following me? Come with me, and I will let you know what you want to know." He got scared and got in the car with him, getting a screwdriver to kill him, but Joe was faster than him, drugged him, and took him to imprison him with Young in the house. He told him, "The one who killed the 7 girls is imprisoned behind you, not my father. I killed your daughter, but your wife killed my father, so we are even." Joe told him, "You are the cause of your daughter's death and the 7th victim's death because of your articles, and you are a dirty journalist looking for dirty news like yourself, not caring about the feelings of those in front of you. That is why you deserve what is happening to you." He played the victim role on him. Kim went to his house house and looked for cameras, and indeed found Joe put cameras. He removed all of them except the one at the crime scene. He took out the tube where he kept blood to frame someone else and emptied it in front of him, making him understand his time was near, and removed the remaining camera. When Song thought in the same way and went to the house to look for cameras or evidence, she found nothing, so she understood he hid the evidence. Afterwards, we saw our hero buying an explosive device, and it looked like he was up to no good at all. He went to the police, and they appointed him as their official consultant. They said he should have been trusted earlier. He told him it was fine, and that he understood his thinking, thanking him for what he did regarding his grandfather's autopsy. He told him, "I want you to protect Song if anything happens to me, and take care of her." They held meetings together and connected the events, realizing that when Joe killed his friend and took his name, anyone could issue an ID back then, and things were loose. So he likely did that. Took his identity and imprisoned Young at his place, but they didn't know where. He also killed the journalist's daughter to take revenge on him. They knew the one to lead them to him was the journalist, but it was too late, my dear, as he was kidnapped. When he looked at his photo, he knew the explosion that would kill. All the officers would involve the journalist wrapped in a bomb, exploding and killing everyone. He tried to communicate with him, but couldn't. Our hero decided to set a plan to chase Joe, telling them they must chase him in the press and leak news of him killing the girl. And the press would do the job with him, but they must do it skillfully, and the general would sacrifice himself. Song told him, "We won't do that. This will make him take precautions." The general agreed and said he would execute Kim's words, clear Joe's father, and throw the accusations on his son. The general was fired from his job, and a new general was appointed, successful by connections and knowing nothing about it. Indeed, what was planned happened, and Kim, through his connections, was able to get him fired from his job, and all the press chased him. Kim said, "The game has begun. Deal with it now." He asked him, "Why did you kill a helpless man?" Joe told him, "So I can live." He told him, "You are thinking wrong. His death won't lengthen your life." Joe told him, "I am the one who will choose how to die." He told him, "You won't choose anything. I own everything coming. Forget it." The press camped in front of Joe's house. He went out the back door and monitored Song going to her father's anniversary memorial. He preceded her, put flowers for him, and apologized to him. He suspected he wanted to kidnap her, so he went after him, stood with her, and told her, "I will be with you always. Don't spend this day alone." She told him, "Come, let me introduce you to him. This is the first time I introduce anyone to my father." Joe saw them, got very jealous, and left. Afterwards, they went to celebrate together, drank lemon juice, and talked a bit about their feelings. Song said to him, "I never asked anyone for anything. You are the only person I begged to help me." She kept crying and told him, "I am always afraid, and I don't say this, so I don't appear weak. I lived through many very difficult things." She said, "I know you are happy because you don't see my death and can look at me freely, but this scares you too. Don't worry, I won't leave you." He fed her raisins and told her he was with her. She didn't need at all to think about the past, as he was beside her now, and she would never be lonely like that again. He went to take her back home and was very happy, but found Joe waiting for him, provoking him, and telling him not to believe himself that he would change fate. Kim told him he would kill him. He told him, "But you are not a killer," he said. To him, "I will kill you to protect the one I love." Joe grabbed him and told him, "If I die, Song won't die." It appeared he was afraid for her and didn't want to hurt her. Kim hit him and told him, "You must die because you are a killer." Song came and pulled him away from him. Kim warned him, saying, "This is the last warning for you. Turn yourself in before I finish you off." Song asked him to go sleep at his place. He asked her, "Why? Don't you have a house?" Or what? She told him, "What do you mean why? Are you stupid? You should be grateful anyway. I just want you to be reassured when I sleep at your place so you stop worrying about me a bit." He told her, "She understands me, by God." When they went, he brought her some of his clothes, being very tense, and brought her a yellow t-shirt. Then she told him, "I will sleep on the sofa and you sleep on the bed." He told her, "Never, impossible. You will take the bed." She told him, "No, so that next time we sleep together." He got shy because of her, looking like a total softie. When she woke up, she found he left her a message, made her breakfast, and really spoiled her. He went to his grandfather's grave, and she went to the station quickly because there was a report from Jean and her colleagues about the journalist's kidnapping. They informed him he had been missing for a week, and they found his car without him, and he was monitoring Joe lately, so they suspected he kidnapped him. Kim came and informed them he saw a side door in Joe's house. Likely he was hiding both of them in the basement or smuggled them out. They received a call that Joe decided to turn himself in. They found him walking in on them. He refused to let anyone interrogate him except Kim. When he entered, he told them, "If I turn myself in, I won't kill Song, won't kill her, nor kill myself." Kim lied to him and told him yes. So he confessed all the crimes he committed and gave them evidence of the grandfather's murder. After he finished, he yelled, asking him, "Now I won't kill Song?" Kim told him he would die in prison because he would spend the rest of his life there anyway. The new general entered and told the officer that they must find the journalist because they would all die due to a bomb tied to him, except for Song. Everyone got scared, and when Kim asked him, he confirmed his words. They went to Joe's house but found no one, as Joe had smuggled them and tied them up in a warehouse. However, they found the evidence Young used to take from his victims there, confirming they were here. Kim went to fight with Joe, telling him, "You are a liar, playing games with us and not telling the truth at all." He told him, "You must be a liar too. Song's death didn't change, nor did mine." He told him, "You are right. No one's death changed because you didn't tell the truth and lied." Song sat with Joe trying to convince him. He told them where they were, and Joe decided to tell them their location but go with them. They moved to the location, went up a mountain until they reached the end of the road, and he told them, "The rest you will take on foot." He stayed with the new cowardly General Kim and a small officer handcuffed to him. Each one of them intended to kill the other. Kim had left his will for each person at home. Joe took out a knife, stabbed the officer, and they fought together. He managed to escape then. Kim went after him, took him in his car, and they went to a faraway place. The police found the journalist, arrested Young, and informed the new general, but he told them Joe escaped and Kim was with him and had a knife. Song went to save him. Kim saw her coming, said, "Forgive me," and blew up the car with him and Joe, using the explosives he bought to protect her from him. Kim thought he would be done with him and able to change fate, but forgot there was an injury on Joe's face as he always killed himself, which would happen to him due to the explosion, and he wouldn't die. Kim went to the hospital in critical condition with Song beside him. The doctor told her he was in a coma and it might last long because he had bleeding and many clots. We learned his grandfather told him, "If you want to change her fate, you will die." So he decided to sacrifice himself for her. We saw Joe escaping from the water and entering a strange house, his face injured by burns, and Kim had stabbed him in the stomach. The maid came to clean the house while the news was playing, showing his picture, and she found him in front of her. He tied her up and made her sit with him. The police opened an investigation with Young, who told them he was not the killer and denied all crimes, saying the killer was Joe, who killed my friend's daughter in the same way. The officer told him, "We have evidence," but he wanted him to confess or fine. A new case against him because this case was 20 years old and hard to reopen. The journalist returned to work, regretting and saying his daughter died because of the article he wrote about Bill, and that Joe saw it, decided to take revenge immediately the next day, and killed his daughter. His assistants tried to comfort him, but when he returned to work, he didn't like what they were doing and told them, "Let's have mercy on the families of the victims a bit, write nothing new, and search in the core of the subject itself. We must change and have some mercy on people." Song went to Kim's house, searching through his memories. She found the doll he always played with and the music he loved. She stood in front of a picture of the sea, and Google told her, "This is the place where he will die." She remembered his words when they were together on the island and knew he would die of a heart attack on this island while alone. She went to him, decided to stay with him, play the music he loved, and held his hand. At that time, he moved it but did not wake up. Afterwards, a report came from the owner of the house where Joe was staying, saying the maid couldn't find her, and there was broken glass in the house. They went quickly and found he hid all evidence against him and all fingerprints and kidnapped the woman in her car. He was standing watching from afar, then went to his house and told the woman to trust him and he wouldn't kill her. She told him, "Let me go and I swear I won't mention." He told her, "Why do you all see me as the perpetrator when I am the victim anyway? Everyone is against me. No one in the series is living the drama against me." Song came into the house and went down to the basement. He gagged the woman until she left, and she didn't notice him at all even though he was beside her. She went upstairs because she got a report that the woman's car was in another place. When he came to see the woman, he found she died, so he sat laughing and screaming like a madman. He went to visit Kim in the hospital and found everyone around him praying for him, so he got more jealous. He decided to kill them all because he felt unjustly treated and that they loved Kim and wanted to arrest him. Joe's mother returned again, and the police exploited this matter, calling her to take a sample from her to confirm he was Bill's son. Song made a plan for Joe to appear. She appeared in a press conference telling the press to stop fabricating news and wait for evidence. The journalist told her, "You imprisoned Joe and didn't have evidence against him." She told him, "Now we have evidence. His mother returned, and we will take a sample from her. She will help us catch him, and we will hold a funeral for his father tomorrow," inviting him to attend his father's funeral. Joe decided to surprise them and sent them the body of the woman he killed. He called Song and asked her, "What do you think of the gift? And this is not the victim. First victim today. There is another victim you will be very sad about." She understood he killed Kim. Indeed, we found him at the hospital unplugging the devices, but afterwards, Google came to visit him and saved him quickly, and he woke up later. Song came and took him in her arms, and everyone celebrated his return to them. An officer from the explosives division came to arrest Kim for buying a bomb. Kim was surprised he could see how he would die, but couldn't see the death of the rest of the officers whom he used to see normally before. He understood he would be the cause of what would happen to them too. Google sat with him to see how she would get him out of this disaster. He told her he actually bought a bomb and wanted to kill him and would confess his life and take his punishment, but the disaster was he didn't see his colleague's death, and it looked like all these people would die because of him, so he would turn himself in so nothing would happen to anyone. She asked him, "What will you do with Song?" He said, "To her, my distance from her will protect her. Since she saw me, she hasn't seen a good day. I will let her live her life." Song was listening to him and entered. She told him, "Turn yourself in and I will protect you. You didn't kill, it was just a failed murder attempt." When he went to be interrogated, he confessed that he bought the bomb and hid the evidence of his grandfather's death. He was planning to kill Joe because if he didn't do that, the rest of the officers would die because of the conference day. The officer told him there are no conferences happening. He told him, "I don't know the date, but there is a promotion conference for one of the officers happening soon." Song couldn't help him, and he told her, "Take care of yourself and I will try to help you from here. The most important thing is that no one starts asking questions." He told her, "Give this message to General Hung and he will handle it." He had written for him the way he and the rest of the officers would die, and that it would be on the day of someone's promotion conference, but he didn't know the date. The journalist would enter with bombs wrapped around him, with Joe, and everyone would die. They were somewhat reassured that there were no conferences during this period. When they went to the station, they found Joe's mother waiting for them. Song asked her, "Why haven't you left?" She told her, "My son came to the airport and said he would kill you, and he would make her see the criminal she gave birth to, regretting she brought a human like him into the world and left him and ran away." She asked them for her son's home address to go live there. The new general entered and informed them there was a ceremony to honor the officer who caught Young. When they saw the banner, they knew it was the same one Kim talked about, and the party wouldn't be canceled because the promotion was coming from the president to cover up the news coming out, which Jean wrote that there was an officer who bought explosives and tried to kill Joe. We found Joe talking to Jean, telling her, "I have news for you regarding your article and I know who this young man is." When she went to him, he told her, "Is he still alive?" "How? I just finished him off in the hospital." She told him, "The police aren't releasing any information about him, but she is a journalist and knew he was still alive." So he decided to execute the big plan and make everyone regret helping Kim and seeing him as the criminal and Kim as the victim. He asked her, "Do you see him as a victim or a criminal?" She told him, "I don't know." He told her, "Call your colleague then and ask him, and if you say anything, I will finish you off." When she called, Joe asked her to ask him about Kim. He told her he was alive and arrested because of the bomb he bought. He made her ask him, "Who sold the bomb?" He told her, "I will send you a WhatsApp message because I am sitting with important people right now." He indeed sent it to her. Joe decided to message him and buy the same bomb from him himself. The officer who imprisoned Kim went to him and asked, "How did you know a conference would happen? Do you really see death or what?" He asked him, "Why do you say that?" He informed him a conference would happen. The officer told him, "I will release you because I don't want anyone else to die and I can imprison you later. The most important thing is to save your colleague." He went to the police station and Song came to him, hugged him and told him, "I want to go home with you." He told her, "You are welcome, but do you need something or what?" "I'm a single young man living alone." She told him, "Stop being stupid. Let's go." He told her, "You sleep on the bed this time and I will sleep on the sofa." She told him, no. He thought she was stubborn, but she told him, "We will both sleep on the bed. We are siblings normally. There is nothing between us." He sat shy because of her until he told her he couldn't bear to see how his colleagues would die, and it seemed he would be the cause. She told him, "First time I saw you, I didn't imagine we could be together, so no one knows what the future holds. Don't worry, I am with you and we will solve everything." He woke up in the night to see his death, but couldn't. When he woke up, he found she made breakfast this time. She received a call that someone tried to buy explosives from, the same man Kim bought from. When he sent her the email and the bomb's shape, Kim saw it and knew it was the same one that would be present on the day of the bombing, and that he was the one who introduced Joe to the man and he bought the same bomb. Song tried to comfort him, telling him this was his plan to make him feel that he was the cause of everyone's death while he had nothing to do with it. If he believed he could save them, he would be able to. He told her, "Yes, we must reach the person who sold the bomb before he delivers it." They went to look for him and informed their colleague to search too. Song asked the journalist to come to the station and camp with them because he was the one the bomb would explode on, so it was better to protect him for 2 weeks so Joe couldn't reach him. The rest of the officers managed to reach the young man's location and informed our heroes. He ran away from all of them, so he called Joe saying, "The police are chasing me." He told him, "How? I sent you the money, you idiot." He told him, "The government has swarmed the area. I will put the bomb for you anywhere, and you go take it." Joe used his brain and sent a delivery worker to take it from the locker he put it in. When the police arrested him, he told them, "I don't have anything." Kim said, "Check the chat." He found he sent the locker location to Joe. They went and found he had already taken it. Joe called Kim and told him, "I am always a step ahead of you. You won't catch up to me. You will be the cause of all your colleagues' deaths." He told him, "You told me. I let them live. They are not at fault." He told him, "Their fault is that they love you and see me as the criminal and you as the victim. I will make you regret it, kill everyone, and you will remain the only one alive suffering." Afterwards, they took the young man who made the bomb to the station and interrogated him. He told them it was a special kind of bomb, meaning if the time ran out it would explode, and possibly before the time too. They asked him which wire would deactivate it. He told told them, I myself don't know. All wires are black. They asked him, so there is nothing to stop it if it starts? He told them, there is if Joe tells you the password and acts noble, which of course won't happen. They knew the bomb would explode inevitably. Kim told them they would all die because of him, which was why he couldn't see them, neither them nor the journalist. When they asked him about Song, he told them, I never knew how she would die. Song told the officer to bring the journalist to meet Kim, but when he went, he found he had disappeared. Joe sent Jean to him wearing a bomb around her, handcuffed him, and took him with her. He kidnapped both, wrapped bombs around them, and the journalist tried to beg him, saying, leave Jean and blow me up. He told him, you want to act like you have a heart now? I am used to you being dirty. Curse me, hit me, but don't act honorable with me. The journalist told him, my daughter's death is enough for me. My daughter, who was innocent and blameless. He is the reason for everything, the one who chased him long ago and made him a criminal. Joe got fed up with him, beat him, and left him. After that, Kim sat thinking about what would happen and why Song was not there. She came and reassured him she would stick to him. Joe called her, saying, if anyone is beside you, get up. She left him, walked away, and Joe spoke to her saying he wanted to meet her and he couldn't believe he might be the one to kill her. He couldn't do that. She told him, where should I meet you? We must end all this. Enough of vengeance. He told her to meet him in the square and come alone. She hid this from Kim when he asked who was talking to her, telling him it was Joe's mother. When he woke up, he didn't find her and she informed him she went to work ahead of him. He followed her. She spoke to her colleague and told him she had to meet an important person. When Kim arrived at work, he didn't find her and guessed she was meeting Joe's mother, but he found Joe's mother entering with a book asking about Song. He understood something was wrong, checked her location, and went to her quickly. Joe spoke to Song while watching her from afar. She asked him, what do you want now, man? You've confused me. Don't you ever get tired? He told her, I can't comprehend how I could kill an innocent angel like you. She told him, you can change all this since you are so kind and don't kill anyone at all. He told her, no, not to that extent. The bomb will explode on the day of the celebration and everyone will die, but you are a biscuit. You shouldn't die, and my heart can't do that. She told him she was sorry, and her father was the reason he reached this point. If he hadn't accused his father of murder and tried to chase him, none of this would have happened. I know you are kind and wouldn't do that. He started to believe her, but our hero came at the wrong time, thinking he was saving her, and hugged her, ruining things even more, igniting the fire of jealousy in Joe. He remembered all the times he saw them together and knew he was trying to protect her all the time and everywhere. He remembered he didn't know the time or place she would die. He called him and said, you made me live in an illusion all this time while you don't even know how she will die. You destroyed my life. I thought I would kill her. May God punish you. Kim told him, stop playing the victim role. It doesn't suit you. Snap out of it. Your whole life isn't ruined. Because of me. You chose to be a killer. You could have cleared your name quietly. They went to the station. She apologized to him for hiding it from him, saying she did it so no one else would die. He told her, but this way, you are the one who will die. She told him, it's okay if I die. One for the rest. He told her, you cannot become the victim, and Joe now knows I can't see your death. Her colleagues were surprised and asked, how did you know anyway that he is the cause of her death? He told them, he told me while committing suicide I will never see Song again, but I forgot, and when I remembered and pieced things together, I knew he would kill her because of me. They prepared to die, all of them. They took a photo for this happy occasion and went to Joe's mother. She told them, my son left his friend a book, so you must read it. He told her, what friend, lady? I was trying to kill him last episode. She told him, just read it, son. Maybe it will benefit you. In the book, he told him, I lived my life normally, but your prophecy kept chasing me all my life until I saw you in the hospital. Then I knew I wouldn't see any good as long as I didn't see you. He told him he loved Song and didn't want to lose her, and that he lived dark days because of him. He told him he didn't know how anyone would die anymore. Kim sent him a message asking, why are we here? Why do fish live in water? Why does Monday come before Tuesday? Joe disappeared from sight, and no one could reach him. Each of the officers went to say goodbye to their loved ones, acting as themselves. One confessed to the girl he loved finally, and the other two withdrew all the money they saved for marriage, rented the most luxurious car with it, and drove like crazy, enjoying their time before meeting their fate. The new general decided to run away to save himself. Our hero sat looking at the photo he took with the officers because it was the first photo with friends in his life. He sat looking at it, afraid to lose them. Song came to him and said, I have a surprise for you, come. He asked her, what? She said, movie night. They sat watching a movie for the first time, but Joe had to spoil the evening and replied to the message, thinking it was from Song, telling her, I'm still not sure if I can kill you or not. Song told Kim, tell him I want to meet you. She told him she would go and sacrifice herself for them, but he didn't agree. She called the rest of the team and they came, coming and agreeing she would be the bait. Kim was not convinced at all. Joe called to ensure she was the one talking to him. Kim tried to interfere, but Joe noticed and told her, let's meet tomorrow in the same place and come alone. They made a surveillance plan. Kim told her, as long as you go, never move from your place if he asks you to. But Joe was always a step ahead. She went on time and everyone was ready. Joe told her to move quickly. She entered through a door and exited from another, not listening to Kim's words at all until he made made her get into a car and go to where Joe was. He took the earpiece and phone from her and told her, "Now you are alone." She raised her weapon at him. They entered a room and he told her, "I thought you were different from them and were sincerely sorry for me and that your father was the reason for all this. You turned out to be deceiving me." She told him, "Just because my father was the reason doesn't mean you finish off anyone you meet. What is the fault of the girl or the maid or Jean whom you kidnapped?" He told her, "She called me a criminal and I am not like that." She told him, "It's over. You are finished." He told her, "No, I accounted for everything. Don't worry. I knew from the start you weren't the one who sent the message. I spoke to a hacker and knew it was Kim, and when you answered, I knew your plan and knew he was with you." She asked him, "Then why did you bring me here? It seems you don't intend to reach a solution." He told her, "I decided to change the plan." He drugged her, kidnapped her, and put her in a coffin. Kim came to the necklace's location and searched for her everywhere, but Joe had finished and buried her. He took a breath and passed in front of Kim. Kim went to chase him because the necklace was tracking the car's location. He kept following him until he reached the newspaper headquarters. So Joe had accounted for it and changed the explosion location too. Jean went to the prison where the journalist's wife was. Joe was threatening him that if he didn't follow his orders, he would blow up his wife, but the police were there, ready. It seemed Kim finally made a plan and would succeed in something. The police asked Jean not to look and to just turn her head because Joe had placed cameras for her, and the journalist ordering them to execute his words through her. The police told her, "Sit and pretend you are waiting for your turn and we will handle it." Joe didn't notice what was happening. Kim continued chasing him, and when he arrived, he found the necklace in the car trunk, so he got scared because it returned to him again, meaning he might lose his beloved. He went up after him in the elevator. On the way, Joe met the journalist's assistant and stabbed him in the heart, but Kim came and saved him and continued to the roof after Joe, who found the police waiting for him with guns raised. He dropped the tablet he was using to monitor Jean and the journalist and held the detonator, asking everyone to step back. He found his mother also coming. Even the general who escaped returned. He told them, "Wow, all this crowd coming to celebrate. My death? No one did that on my birthday." His mother tried to beg him, but he told her, "You are the reason anyway. I hate you. You ran away and were a coward. Come back after I finish you all off." He played the victim role on her. Kim came and started playing the victim role on him too, saying, "By the way, you are the cause of all these people's deaths, not me." He told him, "Oh man, you mean you blow them up and I am the cause of their death?" He told him, "Yes, weren't you the one who predicted that? Here I am fulfilling your dreams." He asked him, "Where is Song? Didn't you say you love her and can't hurt her in your diary your mother gave me? Where did you take her?" He told him, "Oh, so the game is out in the open now? I loved her, but she loved you. Deal with it." Kim told him, "We are tracking her phone. We will reach her." Joe told him, "Her phone, huh? Here, take her phone and call her." Before he called, he spoke to the officer in the earpiece saying, "Trace the number I will call." He called and said, "Hello, Song. Are you with me? How are you, my love?" She told him, "Are you still going to chat? Save me, people. I am kidnapped." He asked her, "Where are you?" She said, "I don't know. I am trapped." He asked her, "Don't tell me you are in a coffin." She told him, "I honestly can't see anything, but it looks like it." She asked him about the officer. Did he finish his issue or not yet? He told her everything is fine, but just a little longer. "Where are you, or what happened to you anyway?" She told him, "He kidnapped me from the garden. Just continue with the plan and save those with you. That is the most important thing. Track this phone, that's it. And come to me. I will rest a bit until you come. Don't be late. Life is at stake." "No, don't worry, my love." He asked Joe, "Where did you put her? In a coffin?" He said, "Yes, and 2 minutes left before the bomb explodes. Choose now, either Song or the people below." Kim kept stalling him in conversation until they defused the bomb and nothing happened to anyone. He pressed the button, but it didn't work. Joe went crazy and asked, "How?" Kim told him, "Basically, I sat remembering all the people who would die today and the way they died. The first thing that came to my mind was why people didn't escape from the place. This meant you were monitoring the situation and threatening them. So the first thing I did was make all these people wait for you, and I had a sketch artist draw the shape of the building, knew its location, and guessed you threatened the journalist with his wife since he had nothing else to lose. As for the bomb, give bread to its baker. The boy told me how to defuse it, and so you couldn't detonate it remotely. We put a jammer." Joe told him, "No, clever. I like you. You saved the people, but what will you do about your beloved?" He told him, "Believe it or not, I didn't think about that. No, hopefully you will be noble and tell me her location." He told him, "Why would I do that?" He told him, "I don't know, but you couldn't kill the other people. Will you finish off the person you love?" "Why?" He told him, "Because I hate you and want you to live in torment. Also, now I understand why you were saying you lived in torment because of me, because you knew before I died I would tell you that you would never see your dearest person again." He stepped back onto the fence and took out his weapon to kill himself, but our hero had accounted for this too. He had placed an air mattress below and jumped on him before. He killed himself, taking him down with him. He told him, "Look at this," and they landed safely afterwards. He asked him, "Where is Noor, Roshdi? Where did you take Noor?" But he didn't answer him. All channels broadcasted the news. Joe was arrested, and they went to look for Song, searching everywhere but not finding her at all. Kim went to Joe and told him, "If you don't tell me where she is, I will finish you off." He told him, "I won't tell you." He told him, "Joe, for God's sake, she will be lost from me. I have no one but her. What will you gain if something happens to her? You will be sad for her too. He told him, no, I won't be sad for her. The important thing for me is to see you suffering. Kim told him, I know you are kind, you agrade. I saw how you killed your friend and took his title. You didn't intend to do that. I know he provoked you, called you a killer's son, and said you couldn't be a doctor while your purpose was to help people too. Atone for your father's sins. Joe told him, you are right. This is the first time I realize you tried to understand me so well. Your words affected me and increased my desire for revenge. That is why I will let her die and you live suffering. Afterwards, Joe went to be interrogated. They kept looking for Song, and the new general knew that Joe was exactly like Young. They imitated each other in everything. He got an idea and told them to let Joe and Young confront each other, as this would provoke Joe and make him reveal her location. Indeed, it happened. Young kept telling him he was a criminal like him, and the person he loved most was dying now, and she must be saying, save me, and that he enjoyed the sound of children saying, save me, and killed them while hearing their voices. He sat, laughing. We understood how much of a psycho he was. Joe couldn't bear his words and confessed she was in a car and gave them its number. At that time, Kim used his brain again and said, I came to the right address the first time, and 10 minutes later I found Joe, passing by in his car, so she must be here. Since she is not in a warehouse, she must be in a car. He called her, kept driving around and honking until she heard him, but he found many cars in the place and didn't find her at all. She lost consciousness until the police arrived with the car number, opened it, and saved her, but she entered a long coma due to lack of oxygen. Kim, Joe, and Young were put on trial to court, and they confessed to what they did, except Young. Joe was regretful for what he did, and Kim confessed to receive his punishment for trying to kill Joe, which was wrong even if he was a criminal. Young denied, but all evidence was against him. Kim was sentenced to remain under probation for 5 years because he saved and helped the police, while Joe received life imprisonment and Young the death penalty. Throughout Kim's probation period, he was recording tapes and sending messages to Song, and when he finished, he was by her side, always, not leaving her, and was afraid she would not wake up again. He helped the police every now and then with all cases, but stopped telling anyone about the way they would die, living a normal life, and saying he lost this ability. Kim went to visit Joe and informed him Song woke up but could not walk, just some physical therapy, and she would be fine. All I want from you is not to kill yourself, and I will have her come visit you. Take care of yourself, my friend. It shouldn't be that you neither knew how to live nor even die. Kim stayed with Song until she walked again and returned to her work. She went to Joe and told him not to harm himself, saying, you are like my brother. He asked her, really? She told him, yes, really. If your father had not been imprisoned unjustly, none of this would have happened to you. He actually reflected on the events, told her, you are right, sat by himself and cried. It appeared that life was very hard on him, but he chose the wrong path, and this was his end. Everyone returned to their normal life, and all were happy. Song returned to her work, and they all celebrated. Kim decided to take her on a date, brought her a dress, and they went to the sea. He gave her the necklace Joe took and told her, I removed the tracking device from it and put the jewel for you jewel. She told him, I love you, so he said to her, and I love you more. They lived together happily ever after, and just like that, the series ended.